Yeah, Anthony, I recently spoke with former Jacksonville Mayor John Delaney, who negotiated the first stadium deal when the team came to Jacksonville in 1993. Now, he said that deal relied heavily on dedicated revenue streams, many of which are still being used 30 years later.
Where can a city with lots of other needs find $1 billion to renovate its stadium?
A parking surcharge, a cut of the concessions, the Cokes and the hamburgers that are sold, parking. You've got all these other revenue things that help make that bond payment.
Former Jacksonville Mayor John Delaney calls it a menu for the city to choose from. Currently, the city charges hotel guests a 6% bed tax. Last year, that amounted to almost $28 million. 1/3 of that goes towards promoting tourism in Jacksonville. Most of the remaining 2/3 is dedicated to stadium upkeep and bond payments.
The bed tax, and I don't know this one, but it used to be like 6 cents. And so $100 room would be $6. But those, each dollar is assigned to different things.
Another option is a ticket surcharge. The city's rate for NFL games is $3.55 per ticket, generating $1.7 million last fiscal year, higher than when Delaney was in office.
It was like $1 a ticket and maybe $2.50 on a Jaguar. That probably needs to go to $5, $7.50 or $10.
If the city raises that $10 a ticket, it would generate nearly $5 million. Combined with nearly $28 million in bed tax money, the city would have close to $32 million in dedicated dollars each year.
Out of $1 billion, that's about $80 million a year in a mortgage payment or a bond payment. Somewhere between 20 and 40 million of those payments are probably going to be generated by the stadium itself. So the city really only has to come up with about that $40, $50 million a year. Sounds like a lot, but when you got a budget that's approaching $2 billion, it's really just a couple percent.
Now, the city can't raise the bed tax any higher than 6%. That is the maximum allowed under state law. But I did reach out to the city council auditor's office to see if there was any wiggle room to pull funds from the tourism fund to the stadium upgrades fund. I also reached out regarding the ticket surcharge and if that can be raised per what Delaney was saying. The city council auditor's office said they're working on getting us those numbers and if any of that is possible. For now, reporting live outside TIAA Bank Field, Andrew Badillo, First Coast News, on your side.